Greetings, I am Lies.
And I am Scandal.
And
let's play a game together, yes?
Welcome back, welcome aboard. I love that Lily has taken some time for herself right here and just trying to be, done being pushed around. And I appreciate that she doesn't have the best boundaries in the world and that she's trying,
She is trying.
All right, so
Though
we're...
again, not really getting...
Character consistency could be a thing, and like a deliberate, planned growth arc or character arc, even if it has some setbacks, so that you know what you were doing instead of just being like, and then I will say this adorable little quip because I'm feeling it in my soul. So a thing I've complained about before with authors, and it's because I've read so much, honestly, and I still like to read, is that sometimes they will have an incredibly clever line. And it is, indeed, a clever line or a cool set of words put together. And then they will just shove it in as character dialogue on a character who would really, based on everything else they've set up, never say that.
You know what I like, though?
Huh?
That got by an editor.
I know, right? And then the editor went, that's so cute, clever, interesting, or funny, but they don't think about whether or not it works for the character. And the biggest way that I've ever lost suspension of disbelief as a child and as an adult reader has been when suddenly I hear, I am the author and I thought this was cute, instead of the character speaking again.
Yeah.
And so that's a thing for me. Do it! Start a new day!
Yay, new day! Oh,
3:04 a.m.
Oh, dear.
And it's always a full moon. No wonder everyone's a little bit crazy. It's a full moon 100% of the time. No lunar cycle at all. People are like, we need cycles in our lives. They don't exist.
You also have to consider the fact that they are really genuinely it's a whole entire month that you're running through here, that you have to fix this entire place up.
1 month. They really could have just had the moon cycle be there.
They really could have.
It would have been very appealing, and it could have been kind of a fun little piece of story element to just have the moon slowly, waning and then waxing, waning down from the full moon. Because sometimes in fiction, people seem to think that it goes from, no moon to full moon and then down to no moon and then up to full moon again.
Yeah.
And that's not actually how it works. It actually just slowly gets bigger until it's full and then slowly gets smaller until it's gone, which I'm sure the educated individual would know, but at the same time, it's a specific area of education. This is not universal knowledge, and if you haven't paid attention to the moon, you don't just inherently know it. But fiction often handles it really weird. Also, in all werewolf movies ever, the full moon is usually a week apart because they need more transformations.
They really do, because they're like, there's a story about werewolves! Quick! More werewolves!
We need more moon really fast. Just set your... You know what? In the last Avatar, The Last Airbender, they had the episodes be a week apart. And you know what? In 24, they had all the episodes be 1 hour exactly long. And sometimes with movies, they have the primary and the sequel be a full year apart. Just have that every week of your show is exactly 1 month apart. And just call the show Full Moon, and every single one of those shows is just the night of the full moon. Lean into your werewolves. The stuff in between can be basically long hopped through a short piece of exposition at the beginning of each episode or at each chapter. Done. It's always werewolves all the time.
I can imagine that. I want to say that would probably take some work and would take some very clever writing for some people to be able to do it well.
It's got to be your slapdash, aggressive, sort of dark noir kind of thing of going, the only thing that matters is when this hits. Everybody else super just chill, drinking coffee and going to a 9-to-5 job the rest of the time. Werewolf Day explodes into insanity. I guess so. That's the only thing worth writing about.
Yes.
Anyway, but yes, I can see how you'd have to define some conventions to make it work, and then you'd have to have a level of intensity and probably I think sort of fun spiritedness, whether it was dark comedy or whether it was just comedy, to have it really work. I think it would have to have a level of lightheartedness, because if it took itself too seriously and only happened once a month, it'd be not believable,
Right.
But I think that people should just lean in. If they want full moon all the time, stick with the realistic cycles, but just have it happen every month, and that's it.
Or do something to basically say there's a reason why your moon is there. It's a thing actually Brandon Sanderson talked about, of going if you're going to write your story, and this is where you say Japan is, then this is where you just go, that's where Japan is.
So this was so good. This is going to be a short tangent, and then we're going to find out if that was the door again, okay? So at one point, I went to a meet and greet with Brandon Sanderson, actually. It was really cool. It was sponsored at a local library. I've mentioned it in one other Let's Play. And I knew the librarian, and she was fabulous. And she went, hey, you've done a lot of talks, and it was actually at the Unitarian church that my family went to, where you've, educated kids on literature. And they were informal educations, because I do not have a degree in literature, but I love books and I love literature.
Yes.
Anyway, and so she's like, I think it would be really cool, since you recommended some Brandon Sanderson to my kid and he's loved it, if you maybe wanted to come meet him at this high school. And I went, yes. So it was a high school library, and the only other people that were there were the teachers and the high schoolers, and I got to sit in with one of my best friends, and it was super cool. At any rate, at one point he did an exercise on writing and world building, because world building is one of his strong points as an author. Like, that's one thing he does really well, right? And so what he does is he has people from the audience, just a bunch of the teenagers, and he treated them really respectfully. It was beautiful. He was a really, really cool dude in that case, in like working with kids.
Right.
He was like, okay, so give me an idea. And someone's like, okay, so we're gonna have something, like in feudal, like Japan, right? And then somebody else is like, and he's like, okay, pose on a world map. He's like, great, so it's gonna be, located, and some other kid's like, yeah, right there. And they pointed like to somewhere in like northern, Eurasia. And someone else is like, oh my God, that's not where Japan is. He's like, okay, so no, you gotta work with this, okay? So in your world, Japan has moved over to this part of the country. And he just validated both kids right away and built from there. It was super cool.
Which is really nice, and it's actually a thing you can do to create a ton of story, actually, in your world, going like, hey, by the way, let's just say this thing is here. That is actually a great way to have an entire arc, or have a background, or have some basically world-building information that will work really well for you.
Yeah, maybe your, moon and sun cycle works differently, or maybe you have 5 or 6 moons, and they don't all show every night because of the, the way they do rotations. And you just have a full moon really frequently. Anyway, was that the door again? That woman needs a sleeping pill. Are we talking about her knocking on your bedroom door? Because she shouldn't be outside knocking on your house door, since she's established that she's staying inside of your house.
I think it is downstairs door, wherever. Actually, we don't know where Lily's sleeping, to be perfectly honest, but I imagine, honestly, all the time, because it's me, that she's like upstairs. Because that's how that works.
I imagine she is upstairs, but I mean, we know that Holly's staying in the same house as her.
Oh, yeah, no, I know that.
So, do you think she goes down to the front door of the house and knocks on it, leaving her bedroom, which I just assumed both the bedrooms were upstairs. I don't know, master could be up and guest could be down.
Who knows?
But the thing is just going, if she's not knocking on the bedroom door, why would she leave the house and knock on the front door when she's staying inside of it?
I have no idea.
I don't know. That woman needs a sleeping pill.
It's just she bangs around and makes a lot of noise.
The house.
Yeah, of course. Bye!
Why does her phone call sound like this? Yes, that's what I sound like when I'm on the phone. Picks up phone, puts it by your face, immediately starts making this sound with your mouth. Lily, is that knocking?
Hi.
Who was that? Mom?
Oh, Lily!
And how do you keep up with me during the day at all? If you're always awake at 3 a.m. calling people, I've got it. Their world with Holly actually makes sense. She's sleeping in her lawn chair all day and wakes up intermittently to cause drama, and that's why she doesn't overhear things and why she suddenly disappears for long stretches of time. The other characters aren't explained, but Holly now is, because she doesn't sleep at night.
Fair.
Done.
Yep, works
So that sort of thing of just roll into your world building, lean into whatever's there, done.
Do it! Listen, I know you think I'm coming here and just stirring things up for no reason.
That's a full sentence. That should be a comma, I think. I don't know, that sounds like an incomplete sentence. Oh, I don't think it's for no reason.
That's what I'm saying! I'm here to tell you to sell this place as soon as Philip signs it over to you.
I know, Mom.
We've already said no.
You gotta understand that I actually enjoy this place, and you're not going to understand it. You're not going to understand that the reason I chose the flowers I chose is because I enjoy them. You're not going to understand that the reason I chose the decorations that I've chosen, the gnomes that are there, the bed frame flower garden, rebuilding the bee house, is not only because he told me to, but because I enjoy it. And the only reason I've been able to defend it is because of that contract and the fact that I've actually been enjoying myself and finding some piece of me that I can actually, sort of embrace and find out is part of who I am. I love cute things. I love nature things. I love bees, Mom. Bees.
Oh, God. I even know someone who wants to buy the place for whatever price you ask.
$9 billion. And then I can afford to take everything with me when I go. I bet he won't pay that, will he? He's probably not a billionaire, is he? Do you know there's a list of all the billionaires in the world? And if it's one of them on there, he's not going to want to give away his billions for this house.
Yeah.
You're exaggerating, Mom. I'm assuming this person is Mr. Rich, who's related to Ricci, and that's who you were talking to. Mom's faces of, like, being stunned. Honestly, I feel like they draw her prettier, a little bit like her skin smoother and clearer when she's having this surprised face.
Yeah.
Does that make, like, do you understand what I'm saying here?
No,
Like, she doesn't have
I
any,
get
like, deep lines and wrinkles that they put on her otherwise?
Yeah, well, I mean, it also does, it seems like somebody's like, I'm not used to figuring out how to cartoonify a woman who has either potentially aggressively gone after herself in regards to maybe like Botox or surgery or whatever it is, and that's fine. And I'm not saying people can't do that, but it's also like, it's interesting because they seem to not know what to do with it either. Like, they weren't exactly sure who Holly was. And that their artist is used to cartoons, not to, let's now suddenly realistically throw in a bunch of wrinkles or, you know, hard lines that are supposed to indicate a specific, basically, like, medical history.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
She's supposed to be Elise Elliott. I don't know.
Who knows? Yes, he's been in contact with me. Nothing strange about that. Only known the man for decades.
So, he's much older than you? Are we going to actually find out who's who and what the carving on the tree means and what the inheritance was and how people split and solve a bunch of dangling plots?
Maybe. Bless you.
Thank you.
That was amazing.
I'm so grumpy, I'm sneezing.
He told me you were set to inherit and just asked me to talk some sense into you.
Some sense into me. You mean about inheriting? How do you know I wasn't going to sell in the first place? Mom?
Mom?
You're assuming I wasn't going to sell. Actually, I've lined it up. I'm going to sell it to Walt Disney as a theme park. It's going to be a local attraction. They wanted a smaller, higher class joint for, you know, their whales. It's going to be just a little, like, off-site resort, and then you drive over to Disneyland proper from there.
Right.
And then Mom going, I'm here to convince you to sell. I'm already selling, Mom.
Bye.
Bye.
This is your big opportunity. I never got a chance like this. You know this.
You never got a chance to sell something that was given to you?
What?
Or do you mean a chance to have your own money that belonged to you and wasn't your boyfriend's?
Yeah, I don't even know. I'm doing this for you.
Because what I'm doing is assuming that you have the exact same priorities, interests, and value system as me. Because what I'm doing is trying to validate parts of me that aren't feeling validated through you.
Ha!
And what I will say is a lot of people do that, and most of them don't realize they're doing it. And one of the things that's really interesting is that a lot of times the people you really dislike, that you can't put down how much you dislike them, and it keeps wheeling at you, even if they're not immediately in your life, and you just keep going, why did that person make that stupid choice? Is often because you are invested in the kind of like choices they're making or who they are. They remind you of you or a fear you have or specifically a failure you're afraid of having.
Yes.
And so the reason that you are so invested in them, even if it's just to hate them and think they're stupid, is because internally you are afraid that you may become them. The reason we fixate on other people is because we are projecting into them to some degree for the most part, unless it's a positive interaction. It can be really helpful sometimes to realize when you're either living vicariously or judging because of projection, because then it can help you understand yourself better. Not only can it help you, you know, treat other people better or get away from things that are just wasting your energy or put down something that's an energy drain on your mind, but it can also just help you understand who you are and then address what you want to do about it.
Yes.
For you.
For you.
For me. And I'm sure he didn't offer you any money if you convinced me. You know, like a finder's fee or something like that. Pay you for your trouble. Give you a portion or a cut. You're here out of the goodness of your heart trying to help your daughter make a sound financial decision, because if I don't inherit properly and the accounts don't balance out right, even if I get all of it fair and square, I may never be able to pay the taxes on this location because I don't have the business savvy to be able to handle income and outgo in reference to it after I have it. Is that it, Mom?
Is that what we're talking about? Well, he did, but I wasn't going to take it, even if I did fly halfway around the world.
Why did you pay to come here if you weren't going to get money, Mom?
Okay, maybe I would have taken it, but what's so bad about that? It's a win for both of us.
Except for it's not a win for me if I don't want the money. It's only a win for both of us based on your priorities. You told me not to be a pawn in someone's game, Mom. And I'm already a pawn in Aunt Mary's game, but it's fine because I'm enjoying it, and finding the photos is interesting, and remembering what I can is interesting, and learning about her when I thought I knew her in the way that a child does is interesting. And I don't feel like she's trying to strong-arm me into anything so much as giving me an opportunity that I get to choose from, because I could literally walk away and not do this if I didn't want to. Did you know
Except
that,
also
Mom?
at the same time, too, honey. You don't have money. What are you gonna do?
Meaning at the beginning of it, I could have. I came here intentionally, knowing basically what I was getting into. And before I spent any money in it, even after I left Blaine, I did decide to get into it.
Right. With the money and the great fantasticness that was your previous life, still.
So what about Mr. Rich's game and yours? Huh? I'm going back to bed. It's 3 a.m. I got up and got completely dressed to come outside to see you, and I'm going and getting back in my pajamas and going back to bed.
So no one will be able to recognize me, and I will have space to my own, so the camera will never follow me. Goodbye!
Yep, because the camera cannot see me unless I'm wearing these clothes.
Perfect!
Die laughing. The convention, oh my god. All right, hang on, guys, hang on. Never mind, don't hang on. That was the fastest load-in I've had. On the other hand, it was only one packet of information. So,
Here we are! Morning!
morning. I mean, how did we get out here? Hang on, I was just going back to bed. This isn't one of my dreams because it's not in, like, chalk background. That would actually fit for Lily.
Uh-huh.
To actually just say that of, this isn't one of my dreams. I don't see the chalk render. And him going, what? Nothing?
It's fine.
Okay.
Hi.
Hey, you back for more hard labor in the quarry? I'm paranoid. I'm gonna check.
Oh dear.
Okay, thank you. That went by so fast. I had to check the technicals, so you just get to be behind the scene for half a second. before I
Going,
go,
"Wah!"
did I do that properly, or are we missing dialogue that I'll have to go through 1,000 levels again to get through? Oh, that would be so sad. All right, anyway. Hey, you back for more hard labor in the quarry?
Yeah!
You gonna rock it today? Actually, it looks like he's gonna be dodging out.
Maybe. Found some chains and whips, huh?
Oh, are we making a weird heteronormative marriage, analogy?
Hi.
I'm going to ignore that question because while I am interested in you, that sounds like a negative marriage stereotype and therefore not romantic.
Let's not.
But I did think of an idea for the rest of the quarry, which wasn't something that we were engaging with working on
At all?
Nor have we even looked at the rest of the quarry or said that it was a problem that we needed an idea for.
Hi.
Ha!
Perfect.
Cactus garden!
Everything's already cactuses!
It's all cactuses. A sunken cactus garden instead of a raised cactus garden. Let's ignore the fact that this is meant to be a literal diorama and that I don't need an idea, I just need to know.
Okay, so here's my question. Are we restoring something to its former glory, or are we making shit up?
Yes.
Now I am distinctly annoyed.
So this piece really is like, there's a level of going, okay, we're bringing it back and we have 3 ideas because we stuck with the Route 66 theme.
Yep.
And then going, this is all part of the same thing that is Mary's time capsule of her true love experience, and going, you don't need to have a concept idea for that. You need to look at what it is and get it back to that. What part in her time capsule did the crane play?
Well, see, this is part of my problem going, are we talking about restoration, or are we talking about just
redecorating.
Redecorating, just like overhauling or something like that.
Are we talking about just landscaping in general?
Because I now am going, so have we just been doing this then with the rest of the estate and just fucking off and doing whatever we want and not following up, and that's why Philip has been so judgmental?
And going,
or she could just lose everything because Lily literally refuses to follow the rules?
On the other hand, we did build a, little gazebo where gazebo used to be. We did restore a boat that was there. We did restore a swan nesting house that used to be there. We didn't just go, what kind of a concept would I like for this area?
Yeah.
And now this is the area with the tightest concept there is. And she's like, what do I want to do here? So
Yay!
It's like it's moving further and further away from what it has described that it's doing. And I'm more and more grateful that even though I have really enjoyed everyone that's come along with the series. I'm more and more grateful that we are close to 30 days because holy crow, my bros.
Yep, we are down to day 26. I'm so delighted right now.
Cactus Garden. I hope they have a really good finale at day 30. I really hope it's something satisfying for the people who originally played this game right when it came out and it really did have a 30-day plot, that it is something satisfying. I hope there's a good payoff.
Yes. Never heard of that, but let's do it.
Look around at everything else we've done so far. That's it.
That's cactuses.
Yes. Let's. The fact that you didn't second guess me in any way is so valid right now, especially since I woke up at 3 a.m. to yell at my mom about my validity.
Actually, I think you two can handle it.
What is this new change in attitude?
No, it's going, you can handle cactuses. You're
I know.
prickly.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're ridiculous and...
Because you're just a bit spiny. Just stay out of my way, Mom. I mean, she is out of your way over there, but I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, in the next one, we're going to plant some cacti.
Yes,
and maybe remove some tires. Clear quarry path. Does that mean actually clean up the stuff? Because I'm real looking forward to it. And if they remove that crane and get rid of it instead of refurbish and stand it up like they did with the car, I'm going to be real irritated.
Honestly, I will also, though, be pretty impressed because, like, wow. Cranes are heavy. My dudes, my bros. Like, have you guys ever seen, like, giant, like, mega cranes? They are enormous.
They are amazing.
They require so much in order to be able to stand up. It's ridiculous. So, anyway, thank you very much, though, guys, for joining us. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and also please feel free to share our videos if you're having a good time with us. Please also feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi or Patreon. I've got some links in the description down below. And I have been Scandal.
And I have been Lies.
And it was great playing with you.
Bye!